Hey toy fans, Aaron here. Tonight, taking a look at the Power of the Jedi release of Aurra Sing. So let's head to the table and check this one out. And here she is on that Power of the Jedi card. I've shown this card off a few times now, but I do like the looks of it. Top left corner. Darth Vader in the background with a prequel trilogy Obi-Wan Kenobi in front of it. Off on the left side, you see the image of Aurra Sing contained on that Jedi Force file, and then through the blister, of course, you see the figure with her included accessories. Backside top right part talks about the combination of Phantom Menace coming to the original trilogy, and then Hasbro combining all the various action figures from the movies into this one line. Off on the left side, you're going to see your other figures that were also available around this time. And then down and to the right, you're going to see a little opening in the card that shows the backside of that Jedi Force file, giving you a brief write-up about Aurra Sing and showing off some of her statistics. And now taking a look at her out of the packaging. This isn't the worst figure, and they certainly could have done better. I feel like they made some interesting choices with this one, but also thankfully later in the vintage collection line, we did get a much better Aurra Sing figure. I'll do that one at another date, but just getting back to this one. Some of the things that I'm not too fond with on this figure is you're going to see as I go through the articulation that she has great range of movement in the shoulders. It's ball jointed, she's got a hinge there, so she's got great range of motion. But there's no other articulation to go along with it, so her arms are done in this pre-sculpted fashion. So as you'll see when I go through the weapons, you can't do much with them for posing. Looking at the head sculpt though, fairly good representation of how Aurra Sing looks. You have some nice shadowing done in the eyes, because she did have those deeper, darker eyes, or the eye sockets, I suppose. Maybe it was just makeup, what do I know? A little bit light, could have been darker. She's got her signature big red fluffy ponytail sticking out of the back of her head. Some beading detail being done in the hair, also some silver painting to help highlight that. And that's all placed very well. It's not running all over her hair, so you could definitely make out that they painted in the beads. On the back side of her ponytail, I'm not sure what they're trying to achieve here. I didn't think she had white in her hair. Maybe it's supposed to be dark or something, or just maybe I'm oblivious to how her entire outfit looks. But there is some faded white painted in there. As for the main body, as I mentioned, those arms are already pre-sculpted. I don't mind her right arm being done in that 90-degree bend. The reddish-orange straps that she's wearing around her wrist are painted well. A couple of her long fingers also extended out, as you can see, along with that thumb. Her left arm is done with just a slight bend to it, and a couple of those straps painted in there. As for the upper chest, she's got a nice vest painted in. Sculpting's pretty decent, and the painting for that vest is looking really good. That dark brown color is hitting exactly where it needs to. You have some silver detailing in there to highlight something sticking out of her right side pocket, your left as you look at it on the screen. And same for the opposite side. Some more silver painting highlighting some sort of, maybe it's some ammunition shells or something. And then along the backside, kind of much of the same. Some more silver painting highlighting just various things that she's got sticking out on the back of her vest. So things are looking pretty decent. As for the rest of her upper body, it is just made up of that reddish jumpsuit, very reddish orange. And the colors between the main chest and her legs don't match up so well. The legs are coming off a little more orangish in color. Around her waist, you can see she's got a belt sculpted in there, and just a little bit of a darker red color to help separate that out from her outfit. And once again, pretty good painting through here also. Not bleeding off onto the outfit, staying right where it needs to be. Some more silver painting being done to highlight the various buckles, the little chains running around her waist, and between the holsters that are sculpted on the sides of her legs. You'll see in this video that the screen left holster is empty. I'll show that weapon off later. But the weapon that you're seeing off her side of her hip on your right side of the screen, that is sculpted in there, not removable. Odd that they made one weapon removable, giving it full sculpting, and left the other one to be sculpted in place. I can't imagine it would have added much more cost to the figure since they're already making one weapon, but I don't know those details, so maybe it was indeed a big cost saver. And then for the rest of the legs, you do see a little strap running down from the sides of the holster at the bottom. On the backside, once again, a little bit more silver detailing being done. I've got to say that for the backside of the figure, I'm really impressed with how much detailing they're giving her, or the extra steps they're taking with the paint, I should say, since generally on the backside, they tend to slack off. And then getting down to the boots, things are looking pretty okay here. I mean, they're sculpted boots. What more do you expect? Relatively decent brown paint job, but around the top of the boots, for whatever reason, it just didn't quite cover and get to the top edge of that sculpting line. You're definitely getting some of that reddish-orange base colors coming through. Maybe that is something that varied figure to figure, but this is the way things look on mine. And looking at the articulation, she only has a swivel neck. Relatively decent range of motion, especially with that long ponytail hitting the back. Each shoulder does swivel all the way around. And they're also ball jointed, so they raise up quite high, but unfortunately, That's all the articulation you get. The elbows are pre-sculpted at a bend here. This left arm is sculpted straight out. So all that articulation in the shoulders does really nothing to help you pose her with her weapons. And then at the waist, or rather I should say the legs, they swivel all the way around. So it helps you balance out the figure a little bit if you're having some troubles getting her to stand up straight, which isn't really too difficult with this figure. As for accessories, you're getting two of them. You're getting this one long blaster rifle. Decent sculpting to it. Nice mix of colors. Very basic, I should say. It's not too bad looking, especially for a figure from this time frame. Throughout the barrel, and I guess all the parts that you'd probably consider being metal. It's got a pretty decent silver paint job to it. And then at the handle area, it's just sculpted in this light tan color. Nice looking strap running from the back end down to the middle of the barrel, and a couple pouches sculpted on the one side. So some pretty decent detailing being done for this weapon. I will say that it is a very soft and bendy accessory. With that strap attached, you can certainly slide it over her neck and around the chest, and it sits pretty well. But as you see, with her holding it into her hand, the way I'm showing it off here, with no other added articulation, this is how she looks if she's holding the weapon. It's a clunky way for an action figure to look, and without any added articulation beyond those shoulders, she just looks weird. But what she will look decent holding is that smaller blaster. Nice sculpting being done here. Certainly a lot of detailing to it. It's done in a very nice dark silver color. And even though that other blaster on her hip is not removable, I gotta say it matches up very well. Putting the two side by side, you'd still think you'd be able to pop that other one out. As it is though, it sits well in her right hand. And with that other functioning holster on the right, you can just slide this right into place and keep it stored there if you don't want her holding on to it. And finally, she does come with that force file. It's a little 8-page booklet filled with information, obviously showing you the front here, Aurra Sing, bounty hunter. And then that opens up to give you their statistics, her various skills, the gear that she uses, which is her blaster pistol, a bioscanner, and her projectile rifle. The tech that she uses, which is the sensor implant, which we don't see on this action figure, and the swoop bike that she drives. Little cutout here for the Jedi Quest Kids Club. And then on the back side, you can see the various bounties that are in place, the adventures that she's been on, and then there that bio information that you saw from the back side of the card. So overall, it's not that bad of a figure. Things are looking relatively decent, and the figure, as we saw her in the movie, is fairly well represented. Just unfortunately, she has some very limited articulation that limits what you can do with her, or how you display her, or maybe even how you play with the figure. The inclusion of the ball-jointed shoulders was very nice to see. Unfortunately, just can't make good use of them. And that wraps up this look at Aurra Sing. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on this figure in the comments section below. And as always, thank you for watching.